This week's book Babble, I'm going to continue on with my psychoanalytical criticism of Murder in the Cathedral. Now, last week I talked about how the superego, the ego, and the id were represented in the story. The ego being the archbishop, superego being the priests, and the id being the tempters. I'm going to look more into the superego and id this week. Now, the superego is the priest. They really want the archbishop to do what would be best for the town. As far as the superego goes, they are the ones in the story who are going through a crisis. They are extremely concerned with how the archbishop is going to act because they are going to be directly affected by his actions. If he chooses to overthrow the king, the priests don't know what's going to happen to them or the town, and they're really concerned about the town going into an uproar. As far as their crisis is concerned, I mean, since it's not with the main character, it's not a huge part of the story, but we do see a crisis with the superego, who are the priests. Now, as far as the id is concerned, the id is representing the archbishop's not only selfish side, but also his extremely guilty desires. They are revealing that deep, deep down, he wants the king dead. He wants to kill him. He wants to have all the power to himself. The tempters are not only representing the id, but they are also revealing the archbishop's guilty desires. Now, with the priests in their crisis and the id showing the guilty desires, we see a huge internal conflict with the archbishop. We see him going through crisis as to what's going to happen to the town, but we also see him trying to act upon his guilty desires. Now, these things mixed are causing his internal conflict, which in the end is going to end up erupting, and we're going to see what's going to happen once he finally makes his choice as to whether to overthrow the king and kill him or to keep peace in the town. Thank you.